Seylan, we look at the digital strategy a little different to other banks. Basically, it's more of a need-based strategy. We have a major focus on the security side. What's going on today? You see a lot of scammed of giving out the OTP to a third party who will use it to do transactions from their service. We actually not only go by the OTP, we have something called a soft token. Seylan, we look at the digital strategy a little different to other banks. Basically, it's more of a need-based strategy for our customers. Our type of customers are very different, so the need is very different as well. Although what you see out there, everybody is talking about an app or a mobile banking app or online banking service or whatever it is. The look and feels, the way you use it, the user journeys are different from each bank. So similarly, for Seylan, we actually take a look at actually what the customer needs, and then we design the strategies accordingly. As an overall perspective from a strategy point of view, we take a look at where we want to reach as far as customers moving towards digital and the bank moving towards different areas of the business and how to support that through digital. Rather than designing a specific strategy for digital, we go by on the basis of how the bank wants to orient itself in the future as far as the customer base is concerned. As I mentioned before, we go by the need of the customers. So we were one of the first banks to introduce palm top banking, it was called those days. It was over 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, where we actually offered onboarding of customers digitally off a tablet. There was a need there where we could actually have to go to a customer and to be able to onboard them without papers and stuff like that. Right? So 15 years ago, when there weren't too many branches in certain areas, we used to use that kind of concept to go in. So innovation on the digital side is pretty much, as I mentioned to you, we have been doing it for a while. Then solutions like we were the first bank to actually offer 24/7 online chat service with some sort of support, where somebody from abroad or somebody who's savvy enough who won't pick up a phone and give us a call, we are able to actually support them. Especially customers who go abroad and need certain things done, our corporate customers who might want a specific thing done. So we still do have a 24-hour chat service. AI has been around for a while, and the bank has actually consumed some of these AI-based services. For example, being able to respond to a customer without actually having somebody being up in the middle of the night and giving him a response on a standard request that they make. Those kind of services we have actually taken into the bank, and the bank is already doing that kind of stuff. Going forward, there would be we do have a plan to take a look at how to support customer onboarding using the AI services, and plus also to be able to provide our relationship managers with some insight to a customer before he or she can onboard that customer, to see what kind of product or service that you would need. Things like, let's say, once you onboard a customer, what kind of milestones will this customer reach, and to be able to proactively support the RM with that information so that he can go back to the customer and talk about those services. For example, if you are just out of uni today, you probably need a student loan. So you come to the bank with that need, but maybe in another 5 to 6 years time, probably be getting ready to get married and move into your own place. So then the need would be different. So then the RM will get that information. Plus also we are thinking about sending out a mail or reaching out to the customer, asking him or her, now you're done with your uni, you might want to take a look at something else. So here are our solutions for you. You can engage the customer even without, having a human being doing that by trying to put it on a calendar and remember. So 5 years or 10 years, it's a long period, right? And people move out and stuff like that. So we are trying to use AI in that sense to help us create that relationship and keep that relationship going as if though we have had that relationship personally with the customer, rather than using AI for onboarding a product or specific product or something like that. We take a look at our customers very, very specifically, because every bank's customer base, though the product may be the same that you see, changes. We spend a lot of time in actually customer experience, user journeys, the UX, we call it the user experience, and then the UIs, that's the user interfaces. All of those, we spend a lot of time based on our customer who is actually using the service. When you take a look at the customer experience part, as far as what we design is, we focus on what are the standard journeys that a customer would want to do, may it be a retail customer or a corporate customer. And we design the solutions that we provide them, the digital solutions based on that need. So a retail customer will probably have a mobile app, while a corporate customer, we may not think about a mobile app. They might have a big screen online application for them to do their requirements. So we spend a lot of time in that sense to take a look at the user journeys and the customer experience. That being said, we also put up some focus. We actually do this specifically. We have a major focus on the security side as part of the user journeys in the digital side. What's going on today, you see a lot of customers being scammed of giving out the OTP to a third party who will use it to do transactions from their service. So we actually not only go by the OTP that we share on SMS, we have something called a soft token. That is not an OTP that goes off SMS. So even if somebody gets your phone and takes a look at your SMS or something, or has access to your phone and grabs the SMS, this service, instead of an SMS, you have an app that you need to generate your own OTPs. So when an OTP challenge comes up, you run this app and you get the OTP you want, and it's synchronized, and you can then go about your transaction. So even if an attacker gets hold of your username and password, they will not be able to carry out the transaction. We also have on the basis of, we have something called the third challenge for a customer's profile. So usually it's a username password. It's called two-factor authentication with an OTP coming as an SMS. So we have the third factor. We talk about, randomly asked security questions where a customer uses his username and password to log in. So even if somebody compromises username and password and also has access to the OTP, they still won't be able to log in, because we'll ask a random question which you have already given the answers for. So unless the customer himself or herself is doing it, very unlikely that the attacker will get access. So we spend a lot of time in actually taking a look at those journeys, especially because customers look at convenience. So security can be done in different ways, but we take a look at how to manage that convenience with also something secure enough so that you're not exposed to, some of these things that is happening around now at this moment of time. So it's up to the customer. The customer can decide whether they want to enable the third challenge or not. Then, strategy point of view, we also take a look at how do we move ahead. We talk about fintechs. We talk about companies who are setting up completely on online space. We have other companies who are talking about, let's say, they have their large organizations with ERP, that is, solutions and stuff like that. So typically, in the past, you would have one channel, two channels for the different types of customers to come on to their internet banking and then do their transactions. We have developed something called the Open API banking stack. APIs are typically services that you provide from the bank to anyone who can use those services and design their own journey so that they don't have to come and use internet banking or the mobile banking app. They can design their own journeys in their own systems and carry out those transactions. So we have taken a look at some of these corporates and some fintechs who have their own apps and their own journeys for their customers to be able to actually use these APIs and carry out the last leg of a transaction. Instead of having to do that part by logging into the bank's infrastructure, they can use these APIs, build it into their applications, and it will be seamless for the customer to use those services. Our strategy is based on customers' needs, and of course, to align that with the bank's strategy to move ahead as a general bank. So we merged the two, and we take a look at how to minimize costs for the bank to onboard customers, manage those customers, and support those customers from a digital front. From a customer's perspective, we take a look at what are the different segments, and we design solutions on the digital side to support those needs. So when you take a look at those two areas, we are focusing on easy onboarding. People to be able to onboard to get a bank account or a service without having to actually come to a branch, to be able to support a customer with an upgrade to a different facility by him or herself, to be able to call the bank without having to be physically present to get your loan. Things like that. We take a look at the need on the based on the customer, again segmented rather than one size fits all kind of service, so that we can customize the solutions for them. On the corporate side, we are not in the area of doing it all by ourselves. We look at collaborations. So even in the future, what we are, as one of our major pillars from a digital banking perspective, we will support the fintechs rather than building an app by ourselves. We'll support the fintech to do their thing so that we are able to help them with the last mile to do the transactions. So that way we will all grow rather than, putting in the investment to build your own app and design journeys for those specific customers, when you have other partners who are able to acquire customers and manage those customers better than us. But for the last mile, obviously, when they require a transaction to be completed, we will come in with the solution. So that's more or less if you take a look at how we will approach the market and how we will go forward in the digital strategy.